All right, students, it is time that we get to shading. Once you've drawn your drawing completely, it's time for the shading process. Couple things you're going to need as we get into this process. One, you're going to need to access your image on your iPad or your phone. Notice that I changed my filter to black and white because I'm using graphite, which is gray tones. It might make it easier for you if you edited your image into a black and white. I'll let that up to you. Another thing you're going to need is, of course, your 3 shading pencils. This is called a tortillon. I'm going to show you how to use that. And something else that you're going to want to access is your kneaded eraser, which you can find in your art box as well. Besides that, you're also going to want to have your value chart out so that you make sure that you're getting a full range of values. To start shading, the first thing that we need to do is look at what we're shading and determine which areas are the lightest, which areas are the darkest, and which areas are in the middle. So in my particular drawing, I have a lot of light coming in here. This is my lightest area. My middle tones are like here and here. These are mid-tones, and then my dark areas are, of course, the areas are the most black, which would be these areas and also the shadows that are being cast by my objects. Tips for starting out: if you are a right-handed person, you want to start on the left-hand area of your drawing. That way you're not smearing your hand into it the whole time that you work. If you're a left-handed person, you're going to work on the right-hand side of your drawing for the same reasons. So you're not dragging your hand through your drawing as you work. On the left side, I'm going to start here with this long rectangular block, which is fairly dark. So I'm going to actually access my 6B pencil for when I start, and I'm going to start shading the same way I did when I did my value chart. Small circular motion. Because this area is very dark, I'm going to push down pretty hard. Use the tortillon, so I'm actually going to take you over to the cylinder because this is a good area to show you how to use the tortillon. Area of my cylinder where it's going from dark to light. So I've laid down some of my values here. You can see it's transitioning from dark to light. With my tortillon, I can lightly, you're not starting a forest fire here with this tortillon. It's going to make your drawing look really cloudy. You're going to lightly, with your tortillon, with small little motions, which are also circular, blend out to that edge. And it's going to give you like a nice, even gradient from dark to light. Right? I see students abusing this tool all the time, where they rely on it so much that their drawing is just this big cloud of graphite. This tortillon is only good when we are going from medium to light. Okay? Don't overuse it. Only use it when you're trying to transition into the really light areas and it's hard to get it even with your H pencil. Kneaded eraser is good for pulling up graphite. So say I went too dark right here in this area and I wanted to make it lighter. Instead of using your big block eraser, if you take this and kind of dab at it, it will pull up your graphite so that it's lighter. So this is a good tool to use if you've gone too dark and you need to pull up your graphite. Our goal with this is to have nice, smooth blocks. We don't want to see lines or streaks. We want our shading to be gradual, and we want to be able to see our objects come to life in a 3-dimensional way. One thing I want you to avoid when doing this is thickly outlining your objects with a thick, dark pencil mark. You can see none of my objects are actually outlined with a dark line. In fact, many of them, the background is darker, and that is why you see the edge of the object. So no dark outlines on your objects. This is going to take a fairly long time, at least 2 class periods. Right? If you are finishing up in 1 class period, it's because you're rushing, you're going too fast, and you're not carefully looking at your values. So take your time, look at what you're doing, and remember, you're starting with the left-hand side if you're right-handed, the right-hand side if you're left-handed.